Okie. A dilly okie. Let's see. We got that taken care of. Trying to see. Do you want to be in it? We're going to be like sitting right next to each other.
Yeah. Maybe more angle of you than me.
There we go. Good evening, everybody, or good morning, wherever you're joining us from. What's up, Jamie? Lols. Everybody, I actually can't even tell how many people are joining in. I got that notification. All right. Thank you guys for tuning in. That's already a lot of people at this time. It's pretty late, so we appreciate you guys taking the time. John's over here. So
Greetings,
he's a little cut out. No pressure. Just want to let you guys know that we are running a charity fundraising for the Heal Los Angeles Foundation down below. If you want to donate any amount, it all helps and all goes to a good cause. So that's right down there. We already have one donation for $10. So thank you very much. Let's see who that is. From Ronnie Frudigger. I hope I didn't mess that up. Freudiger. Hopefully. But thank you for that $10, Ronnie. Really appreciate it. So tonight we're going to be talking about our biggest event of the year, a very fun event, an event that my family's been putting on for a while, and then that our charities have been hosting for a while. The dogs are going to be running in the background, so there's going to be noise. So we're going to give you some information really on Thriller Nights because we are fortunate enough that it is happening this year after taking a 1-year hiatus because of the pandemic. And even that wasn't really a hiatus. We still had a virtual event with Omarion in 2020. But this year is going to be back in person and on the property. So we're very excited. We've got some cool changes that we're excited to share with you guys this year. And we're also going to be answering some of the questions that was left on the Heal Los Angeles page. So if you were able to, we'll hopefully get around to your question today. So, John, you want to hook us up with one of the first questions?
Top of the first, a lot of questions that we've been getting is when, what time, and where is the party for Thriller Nights?
So the basics. We'll start off pretty easy.
Basics.
So it is on Friday at the end of this month, October 29th. It's going to go from 7 p.m. till 12 midnight. It's going to be hosted at my family's property in Encino, the Havenhurst house, where, fun fact, my family moved to after Gary, Indiana, when they came out to the West Coast, as well as albums like Off the Wall and Thriller were written on the property. So there's that kind of, just that little bit of my father's magic is still very like tangible on the property, and it's a really fun night. He gets a complete makeover. You know, if you are coming to the party, it doesn't look like that all the time, I promise. But it's super spooky, and this year we're really trying to outdo ourselves.
Perfect. The other question we've been getting a lot is if fans from other countries would like to attend Thriller Nights, are they allowed to?
Yes. So from an organization standpoint, as the Heal Los Angeles Foundation, we are not limiting anybody from any country or anything like that. I would say you have to check with your local and I guess national government restrictions as well as the U.S. government because you'd have to fly or travel into the States. So you do have to take that into consideration, and we can't provide any exemptions to that. But the party is open to anyone from anywhere.
Perfect. The number one question that we've been receiving DMs, emails is can fans or people attend this party, and if so, who do they go to, or who can they reach out to?
That's a very good follow-up, just because now it is open to anyone from anywhere, but you can't just show up to the party due to COVID restrictions and just for safety precautions. We are limiting the number of people at the party this year. We want to make sure everybody has a fun time, but also a safe time. So we are doing an RSVP system, and if you are interested in attending the party, you'd have to send a DM on Twitter or Instagram to the Heal Los Angeles Foundation, and John Mudo right here, he handles them all.
I'm the one answering it. I'm always the one answering it.
So he's going to get back to you guys and tell you how to get all the information together.
Perfect. Let's get into some fun questions. What is we've been doing Thriller Nights for technically 3 years, but what's your favorite costume that you've seen from Thriller Nights?
That's a very good question. It's tough because I've been to a few great Halloween parties too, so sometimes I get them mixed up as far as like where did I see that costume. But I think it has to be either my sister went dressed up as Gandalf or one of the wizards from Lord of the Rings, and it took me a second to realize who it was, so that was a really good one. And then my cousin Terrell dressed up as a Vato, And that I didn't know who that was either. So that was a really good costume.
Nice. One of the second most popular question is, can you finally announce who the special guests will be at this year's party?
Yes, so we have got some really cool additions this year. My brother, unfortunately, he took a step back this year, focusing on his education. So we kind of have some big shoes to fill, and we didn't really know how to kind of live up to those expectations. So we decided to try and add some more elements and outdo ourselves from the previous year in 2019. So this year we have a special guest, a good friend of my dad, a good friend of the family, and a good friend of mine, Chris Tucker, is going to be coming over to tell some funny stories and just hang out with everybody at the event. So we're really fortunate that he's coming by for us. We're also going to be having some performances by Elijah Blake and MK XYZ, two really cool artists that have a deep love for my father and deep inspiration from him. And it's going to be just a fun night, an intimate event where you get to really enjoy some good music, some great stories, and some good people. And 2 rooms that we're adding this year that haven't existed in the past, and I'm just so excited for. The first is the Legacy Room, and the second is the Neverland Room. And both rooms, the idea of both rooms are essentially to capture the different elements of my father. And the Neverland Room kind of captures his childlike wonder and the way in which he saw the world. It's going to feature actual items from the Neverland property that we were able to pull out of storage and we were setting up and display. And then the Legacy Room, which is, I don't want to say one's more important than the other, but the Legacy Room just has so much more stuff in it. We're going to have so many cool collectible items that we're getting both from my father's estate executor, John Branca, as well as the estate's personal collection. So it's going to be a robust room. There's going to be a cool picture opportunity in there. And really, I just would like it to be a spot where you can come in and feel like you're a part of my father's legacy in a way, and also feel like you're a part of that childlike wonder in the Neverland Room. So I'm really excited to see how well received those rooms are, and I think they're going to be a really fun time.
Perfect. For Prince, for people that are just coming in and on this IG Live, can you explain one more time where fans can go or who to contact if they're interested in coming to this party?
Yes, so if you're just joining us, actually we got 777 viewers. That's a good number right there. So if you are interested in attending the Thriller Nights party, which is October 29th, Friday from 7 to midnight, you will message the Heal Los Angeles Foundation either on Twitter or on Instagram or Facebook. And John Muto, this guy right here, he will answer all the DMs and get back to you as far as all the logistics and everything. Because of the COVID kind of climate right now, we want to make sure it's a safe environment. We are doing an RSVP system, so your name has to be on the list. Otherwise, you're not getting in it. It's just simple as that. So we're really excited, though. It's going to be an awesome year. We've got a really cool group of people going. I've seen some people are asking if some of my family members are going. There's going to be some of my cousins there. You know, if my sister can show up, I'm sure she is. I'm going to see her tomorrow, so I'm going to have her RSVP just in case, because even she needs her name at the gate. But it is going to be a fun night. We're really looking forward to hanging out with a bunch of people. For John and I, it's kind of like a big build up, big planning, and then that kind of the night of, at least for me, John's usually working on the night of, but it's like kind of like the climax where I get to socialize with everybody. It's been at least a year since we've seen a lot of these people, maybe close to 2. So it's going to be a really fun night to kind of get back together and celebrate the charity, celebrate the work that we've done, but also celebrate the life and legacy of my father and all that he's contributed to the music industry, as well as to just the month of October with the great song Thriller.
Perfect. Prince, can you share one item that you're looking forward to see, whether in the Legacy Room or the Neverland Room?
I'm actually really excited. So we have a lot of art or memorabilia coming from Ghosts, the music video. And I've always heard the stories. I've seen the BTS of the extensive makeup that my dad had to sit through. And he was always talking about how many hours he put in the chair. And we're going to be getting, I think, 1 or 2 of those prosthetic masks that he had to wear at the party. And actually, there's a fun fact there is I know he had lunch with my grandmother while he was dressed up as the man in the fat suit, and she couldn't tell that it was him. So props to the makeup department on that. You know, they must have done a really great job. But those are going to be some really cool items, as well as we have some items from Thriller. I don't want to misspeak and say the incorrect items, but there's some significant items from Thriller going to be at the party, and it's just going to be really cool to see that tangible piece of history, I think.
In addition, how about, can you explain to interested fans about what's going on in our goodie bag?
So in our goodie bag, actually, you might be able to speak to this better than I am as far as the individual items. But we've gotten some really cool items from the one show again, which is some nice memorabilia kind of like my father and stuff. We've also got some Healer Lace swag that we're putting in there. Some skin products from a friend of ours, from TLK. And am I missing anything?
The bag, and then you mentioned the shirt, right?
Yes, the Healer Lace swag.
Yeah, the bag and the shirt is probably the most popular part because it says Thriller Night on it, and then we're adding the year of Thriller Night. I think that's something new we're doing this year. Yep.
So that's going to be fun. I think also a big change is traditionally, if you've been to the party before, we've done multiple mazes throughout the house. We've had, in our biggest year, we had about 5 miles worth of mazes. My brother is a madman. He was banging those mazes out, making them happen. It's really cool. Like I said, we don't have his support this year. We don't have his help this year because he's focused on his education. So Taj and I are now spearheading the mazes, and partly we wanted to simplify the job a little bit and not go as such a long maze, but at the same time, we also wanted to still really focus on the legacy of my father. We want to figure out how to bring Thriller to life. So I'm really excited to announce actually that the maze this year, it's only one maze. It's actually kind of a separate idea. So we have one maze and the entire house is an interactive experience. And the one maze is Thriller. So the idea of Thriller is that it's going to take you back to the music video, the original video, the extended version, put you inside of it, and then take you on a little experience through basically Thriller. And then Ghosts is going to be the theme of the house. And essentially almost everywhere you walk, it should be somewhat Ghosts inspired. Mm-hmm. So we're really excited to see all that kind of come to life. It's going to be a first for us. So I'm confident we're going to be able to pull it off, but I also know that this is the first time we're doing it. So the next years after this are going to be even better and better and better. So it just feels like a really cool step in the right direction.
Yep. Prince, with all these new features, we're adding, Chris Tucker, we're adding the Neverland room, the Legacy room, a different kind of maze. Can you, I lost my train of thought here. Fans want to know, can they view is there going to be some sort of like IG Live, some sort of live broadcast? If you can explain that to fans. So
to kind of preserve the magicalness of the moment, it really, really requires you to be there in person. In 2020, we did do a virtual event with Omarion, and I think that event was done well because it really connected kind of the musical creation process with the energy of the house. But the real wonder and the real magic comes from being on property. And I feel in a way that when you see it through a screen, it really negates that impact. So we really want to encourage all of our guests to be there in person. There will be, photos and some videos coming out. You'll probably see it on some people's Instagrams, but there will not be live coverage of the event, at least on our end, or to my understanding of any, let's say, major broadcasters.
Well answered. Another question that we've been getting a lot is, can fans or anybody volunteer at Thriller Night specifically?
This is a good question. I've been getting this a lot, specifically when I was in Vegas, when I went to go see my sister perform. A lot of awesome people want to know how they can get involved. And I really think that that's a core part of my father's mission, was encouraging people to take action, to go. And I want to engage with these people because there is a lot of love there. And we just need to figure out the proper way to engage these people. So unfortunately for this year, due to the COVID restrictions, again, we've had to kind of dial it back and take more precautions. So we aren't opening up to volunteers just yet. I think next year, John and I are going to really kind of hit the drawing board and figure out a volunteer program in a meaningful way that will kind of maximize the impact that we can be using with our volunteers.
Perfect. Prince, can you let the people know where all the funding goes to, from tickets, and when we do fundraisings like on Instagram, where does all this money go to?
So we're really proud about it. All the money actually goes directly into our programming. The way I like to tell people is that this is something that I want to do no matter what and however it is going to happen. We just have these fundraisers like right down below in an effort to inspire other people to want to try and enact change. And if you're not necessarily in a position to donate financially, you'd be able to donate your time in other ways and help your community. So we wanted to leave the option open that, other people could kind of help out and give their money to help us with our programming. In 2019, we actually raised $6,000 from JP Larson over at Medterra. And that money went entirely to our virtual cooking class, which was offered in 2020 and was a big hit. Almost 100% of the families enjoyed every meal. It was such a cool class, and we're going to have a video about that at the party. So this year, all the fundraising from the party is going into funding our programming for next year, either to expand our current programming, such as the virtual cooking class or our physical fitness class, or to start funding programming that we haven't necessarily developed yet, but we're currently in the process of thinking about what does the community really need.
Perfect. Another question that we've been getting a lot is, can you explain one more time to the people when, where, and where do they go if they are interested in attending Thriller Nights?
Yes.
The questions are rolling in here.
Again, if you are interested in attending the Thriller Nights Halloween party, it is Friday, October 29th from 7 to midnight at the Havenhurst House in Encino. And it is an RSVP situation, so if you're interested in attending the party, you'll want to send a direct message to the Heal Los Angeles Foundation on Instagram, Facebook, or Twitter. John Mudo, our president, will kindly respond to you guys and send you along all the information that you'll need to attend the party. It should be a really fun time, and we're limited in capacity as far as how many people are allowed on the property, but I am excited to seeing everybody there. It's going to be such a fun night to hang out. Halloween's such a fun time, to scare people and stuff. It's going to be amazing.
Let's get into, still about Thriller Nights, but let's get into some fun questions. Someone asked, what's one song that you are looking forward to hearing from your father during the party?
I think Thriller, obviously. It's one of those songs, especially at a Halloween party, that everybody knows what's going to happen. You have to do the zombie dance. I don't do it out of fear of embarrassment, to be honest, but it's a vibe, honestly. It really is. When everybody plays it, you can hear the party go, oh! Everybody starts looking around, coming to the dance floor, and it's a really cool one. I actually really want to see Ghosts, or I want to, see Ghosts played at the party, because it's just got a funky beat, and I really like that. So it's going to be cool. It's going to match well with the house. So those two we're really excited for.
Nice. Real quick, going back, someone asked, can people film and take photos at the property during the party?
Yes. So the whole idea, we've tried to lock off parts of the house in the past, and that didn't work, and people were just kind of going all over the place. And the reason we did that is just because the house is still under construction and renovation, so it's not necessarily presentable. So this year we've done our due diligence as far as securing all the areas that are not prepared for public viewing, as well as preparing all the rooms that we want people to go in and to see it and to take photos and to film in there. So the short answer is yes, and the long answer is we'd love it if you guys would film and explore the house. And welcome to, I think it's called Normal Valley, is the place in Ghost, the music video. So enjoy your time at Normal Valley, essentially. It's going to be a really crazy night.
Friends, I know you've answered this a few times, but just one more time. If a lot of people are asking, if they're from out of the country, can they still attend the party? We've been getting a lot of questions right now.
Yes.
About that.
So I am not up to date with all of the immigration policies, specifically around the COVID-19 pandemic and how that's been limited as far as travel goes. So without knowing any of that, where you're from is not a factor into why you can or can't go to the party on our end. We're opening it to anybody as long as you send a message to the Heal Los Angeles Foundation and RSVP. But as far as getting here into the country, that's going to be kind of on your responsibility, is figuring out whether or not our government or your government allows you to travel back and forth. God's Glitter just asked about you're in California. How can you get tickets? You go send a message on Instagram to the Heal Los Angeles Foundation, or you could do it on Twitter or on Facebook, and John will send you all the appropriate information for that.
Perfect.
And it is a costume party. I forgot to mention that. So you should show up dressed up, or you're gonna look weird. That's yeah.
Last question here. A fan asked, if this is your first time, and maybe I can answer it too. If this is your first time attending the party, what would you be looking forward to?
I think maybe you could probably answer that question better. But speaking from kind of an insider, a Jackson, somebody who grew up behind those gates, I think it's a really fun event. It's not an intimidating event. Everybody that's at the party is so welcoming and is really there just to kind of share in the love and the music and the happiness. So honestly, I feel like you could even show up alone, and I hate showing up alone to events, and you're still going to be welcomed. My family's super welcoming to anybody on property. Our foundation, all the friends of the foundation, our ambassadors will be there. So it feels like a community,
Yeah,
so I would definitely say to look forward for that. Also the mazes are really cool. And you get to just kind of walk through the house where so much history, I guess, really started and had happened and occurred. And it's really cool, I guess, just to be a part of that.
Yep.
I don't know if you want to add to that.
Yeah, I would say, I feel like I'm one of the biggest Michael Jackson fans. When I first got invited, when we were still a student org, I was blown away. Prince asked me to come to the party. And this was before Heal LA kind of took over Thriller Nights, but I've seen, Michael Jackson interviews around the fountain statues that he had interviews at Havenhurst. So I would sit down where Michael sat, and it was just like a crazy and a once in a lifetime experience. So I mean, the list goes on, but Prince hit it on the head. The mazes, just the whole property. Now we're adding the Legacy Room, the Neverland Room, and then having a guy like Chris Tucker on board really just comes in for full circles for us here. But yeah, it's just a unique Halloween party, and we really hope to see you there. Prince, I know I said one last question. I'll turn it back over to you. But the last question, and if you can answer this, will there be a Thriller Night party next year? And then when you answer that, can you also say one more time when we log off where people can go if they're interested in attending this year's Thriller Night party?
Yeah, so that's going to be a long thing. Before I get started with that, thank you all for tuning into this live. Thank you for everybody, all 21 people who donated. We've hit $390. That's awesome. In the 20 minutes that we've been here, we're going to do a big thank you to those people right before we log off. But to recap, the party is October 29th, Friday, from 7 p.m. to midnight. If you're interested in RSVPing for the party or figuring out how you can attend, please send a direct message to the Heal Los Angeles Foundation on Instagram, Twitter, or Facebook, and John Muda will get back to you very quickly. The short answer for next year is yes. This is such an awesome event, and it's only gotten better every year we've done it. Mm-hmm. And fun fact, this is officially our 7th year hosting it in person. It would have been our 7th year in a row if we didn't take that break. But 7's a lucky number, so we're expecting this event to be really awesome. Did I miss anything else?
No, you answered it. Next year, I think you said you're going to do some.
Yes. So now we're going to take a look and give some shout outs here. So we got Riley Cheyenne, messing up names already, Vanessa Morales, Leslie's Life, Ro Bernadez, Susie Way, Metatron, Fan of Latoya, 2 Serenity, Phelan Wing. Oh, I think Phelan, the dancer's here.
Oh, yeah.
Teresa Gonzalez, Dana Elise, That's So Korea, Spicy Chicken Wing, Lisa Brise, Joshua Daniels, Miss Stephanie, Jessia Watson. I'm so bad at this. Atari's Girls World, Carmona 99, Kim Kaz, Travia Bada, Scarlet Pole, Cabbies, Eve G, Lenart, and Ronnie. Thank you guys all so much for these contributions. They're all going to a great cause. We're going to be implementing some really cool projects both next year and in the years to come. We're in it for the long haul and making, impactful programming in our local communities and hopefully communities abroad. But thank you guys for tuning in. Hopefully I'll see some of you guys at the Thriller Nights party. John's going to be getting to those messages very quickly. So make sure you hit up the Heal Los Angeles Foundation on Instagram, Twitter, or Facebook if you want to figure out how you can attend the party. But thank you guys. Have a great night, and we'll talk to you later.